Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. Welcome back yet again everybody. We've got another video review. It's my day off yet again. So we're gonna go at it with another one that I have been testing for the past couple days. And I'm really excited to bring this to y'all because this is the latest Louis Vuitton fragrance, and I know a lot of y'all watch my Louis Vuitton no hype videos. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Your subscriptions, your likes, your views, watching the ads really does help the channel when we procure a lot of these fragrances, a lot of these samples really quickly, so I can put them up immediately so you guys know what to expect before you buy. Now I want to thank one man right here, my Louis Vuitton Don friend Justin Williams, who was so quick to send me a sample of this fragrance because he's the guy that I get my Louis Vuitton fragrances from. And previously I thought that he was just my Louis Vuitton guy, and then I found out that this guy has basically everything, that he decants almost every perfume that I know of that's important to me. And so Justin gave me a ton of samples for free because, you know, he wanted to thank me for what I've been doing for the community. And I'm very thankful to that, guys. Okay, so if you're looking for legit samples of all the hot stuff, look for him on the internet, Justin Williams. He said that he's kind of iffy about it because he might get swamped with all the work, but like I said before, I mean, he's legit. He's got everything. So if you're looking for decants, look for Justin Williams on the internet, on Facebook. Now this fragrance I've been so excited to do because this fragrance has something to do with where I live in and the lifestyle that we live in here, okay? So this fragrance is none other than City of Stars by Louis Vuitton, the 2022 release. This fragrance is the night version, so to speak, of California Dream. I reviewed that a long time ago, a couple years ago. And this fragrance is going to be about the sunset to sunrise lifestyle here in Los Angeles, okay? So the moment the sun goes down, this place, LA, gets busy, guys, okay? So y'all think maybe in other places, you know, once the sun goes down, everybody goes and relaxes and retires to bed, but right here, no, it's the beginning of another set of things to do all the way until the sun rises the next day before people head to work. So City of Stars is a fragrance that is all about that, and that made me incredibly curious because unlike California Dream, which was about the beach lifestyle here in LA, I mean, that's nice. But for me, this is actually the lifestyle that I mostly lived for the past 10 years. If you've known me before all this FragCom perfume stuff, you'll know that I was in the fashion industry. I was in the fashion circles for the last 10 years. And so for the past 10 years, I've been going to a lot of these dinners, pop-ups, all these soirees, these parties. And occasionally, you know, a lot of my friends go to Soho House, for example. And so this fragrance is all about that. You know, it's about the dazzling lights, the cameras, it's about being seen with celebrities, all of that stuff, going to parties in the Hollywood Hills. This fragrance is going to be all about that. So that's my big question. You know, when I started smelling this fragrance, when I started testing this, my big question was, is there a message to market match? Is it going to be as good as my last review, Blazing Mr. Sam by Penhaligon's, where I said, man, that was 100% message to market match. And I wanted to know if City of Stars really did portray that beautiful evening time all the way up to the sunrise scenario here in Los Angeles. If this is an appropriate thing to wear to those events, okay? So that was a really big question. My second question too when it came to this fragrance is that, is it unisex? Because looking at the notes, I mean, you don't have to be a genius or an experienced perfume reviewer to look at the notes and say, wait a minute, that looks like a women's perfume. It looks like a femme perfume. But then again, if you search this fragrance on the internet, it's under men's. It's a men's perfume, all right? So that was a big question for me. I wanted to know if this is a fragrance I could wear too, and my wife could wear it, I could wear it, you know, to these nighttime events. Now here we go, let's go spray this thing right now, Louis Vuitton City of Stars. Okay, here we go, City of Stars, guys. So the first part of City of Stars actually has some really nice citruses, okay? You've got lime, you got lemon, and then you've got bergamot as well, okay? So I'm kind of grouping them together so you can understand how this works, okay? So the first part is lime, lemon, citrus, bergamot, and you can smell it in the air almost immediately. I guess this part is kind of like a reminder of, you know, the end of the day. Like, it's still daytime. It feels like something like you would wear when you're walking around Melrose in the daytime, maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30 before the sunset happens. But the first salvo of the citruses here really reminds me of a daytime thing. I think that this initial like citrusy blast is like the one wake-up call, the one wake-up part, the one uplifting part of this perfume, because the rest of it, the rest of this fragrance is going to be like a gradient, okay? So you are gonna get these citruses probably within the first 30 to 45 minutes, and it's definitely wearable in the daytime in that regard. You can wear this to brunch, you can wear this to your lunchtime outings, or in the afternoon if you're going around LA. This is something that you can wear. It's very daytime, it's very like California Dream in the beginning once you smell this fragrance. But past 30 to 45 minutes, guys, here it is. Here comes the sunset. And I really like how the fragrance transitions into that, because that's what the message was about. And in come your red mandarin and your blood orange, guys. And if you're like me and you've reviewed a ton of fragrances already at this point, you actually break down the notes like I do. You're gonna look at that blood orange and you're gonna be like, yeah, that's the curve right there. And that's exactly what it was. So once the red mandarin and the blood orange starts kicking in, think of it as a curve into a gradient. It goes from your bright citruses in the beginning, first 45 minutes, into the sunset. And you will really feel that once the blood orange note and the red mandarin note kicks in. And when you smell the blood orange and the red mandarin kind of like curve this fragrance into a gradient, you'll start realizing that, hey, this is a fragrance that, you know, would be probably best worn either in the late afternoons or the start of the evening. And I'm not talking about like nightlife, I'm talking about before dinner, because of that curve, because it turns into almost like an evening time scent because of the blood orange, because the bright citruses get cut within like 45 minutes. And so I think it's really nice to wear. I mean, I could imagine somebody shopping in the late afternoons and then letting the Louis Vuitton stores close, the Gucci stores, and then boom, straight into dinner maybe. This is like a perfect fragrance, like in terms of the timing, because as you are headed into the dinner time or you're headed to meet people during around that time, you are going to get that scent of like that evening time elegance that the blood orange will bring past the normal bright citruses of this fragrance right here. Now you are going to get that curve for maybe about 30-35 minutes, but the star of the show will eventually come out probably like an hour and a half in wearing this fragrance, and that is going to be your Tiare Accord, okay? Or that's what they call a Tiare Accord. Now this Tiare Accord is an accord, but really it is tuberose plus other elements or other ingredients as well, because Tiare is a cousin of tuberose apparently. But once you smell this, I mean, if you know your tuberose, you know it's tuberose. But the difference being that there are some woody nuances in this Tiare Accord, as well as warming nuances in this Tiare Accord. Because there are tuberose fragrances where it blooms. You really feel like it's springtime, it blooms. But in this Tiare Accord, it does not go out that way. It's warming, there are woody nuances. It follows the gradient from the blood orange, which I like, but of course it's got that beautiful like tuberose note. And when I think about the tuberose here, guys, okay, I think about this and I think about all y'all that are probably like, oh god, tuberose, oh I don't like tuberose. In LA, if you're lucky enough to be in the fashion industry or in the music industry or whatever industry, the cannabis industry, and you are lucky enough to party in these beautiful Hollywood Hills mansions or these private events or these pop-ups wherever, you gotta know that most of these people that go to these parties are not part of the status quo. They do not dress up like everyone else. They do not act like everyone else. And I guarantee you, they won't smell like anyone else. And I think that the tuberose or the Tiare Accord Although it might not be the most likable thing from most people's standards, in my opinion, is one of the best things that they could put in here to make you smell different, because tuberose ain't really part of most people's perfumes. The inclusion of this tuberose-like smell here in this Tiare Accord, and this is a significant part of this fragrance, will make you smell different. I can just imagine going out there, meeting all these people, and they'll go like, that smells good, that smells different. And that's precisely what this fragrance does. And also because there's like a warming part of this Tiare Accord plus some woody nuances, I think that it smells like a safe tuberose accord. Like, it's kind of like it smells different because it's tuberose, but it's also safe. It's not like attention grabbing. It will grab their attention, but it's not like, you know, you're trying to get it, like you're desperate for their attention because of that warming gradient aspect. I think that this is one of the loveliest parts here of this fragrance, City of Stars. Just from the start and the mid, I can say that this fragrance is inviting. I think that this fragrance is a draw-in type of fragrance. I mean, it will definitely attract people like maybe like 3 feet away from you, because the sillage here I think is perfect. I think that it's not like an overblown sillage. You can really smell it for hours and hours, okay? Don't worry about that. But I think that the sillage here is of a draw-in nature, 3 feet away, not pushy, not attention-getting, not compliment, seeking, but it will draw people in, because if you go to these events, like I said, you will be within talking distance of most of these people, okay? It will leave a scent trail. However, if you are talking to people, it's the perfect sillage, not desperate for their attention, but they will get drawn in because of that wonderful curve, like I said, from that blood orange to that Tiare Accord, that tuberose, warming, woody smell, I think is great, okay? So it's a great draw-in scent when you are going to these parties and you're meeting all these random people. Now the big question, is this fragrance a unisex fragrance? So initially when I wore this fragrance like a couple times, I was just like, yeah, this is definitely a woman's perfume. And I think that, you know, if you're a woman, this is great. You should wear this. If you're into evening time things, then definitely you should wear this 100%. But the more I wore this, the more I got convinced that even a man can wear this. When you're out here in LA, you know, in the evening time all the way to the nightlife and beyond, one thing you'll find out is most of the people that, you know, do the parties here, like, they're not part of the status quo. Like I said, they're different, and there are a lot of lines that are crossed, whether style-wise, fashion-wise, and scent-wise. When you're out here in these parties, you are gonna see guys that dress up in women's clothing and vice versa, okay? So with that being said, I think that this is a great perfume that crosses that line as well, that it can also be worn by a guy, and I think you can pull it off, given that there's blood orange, given that there's a woody nuance here from that tuberose, that Tiare Accord. I think you can wear it and you would still smell attractive during these nighttime, evening occasions. Now on the final part of this gradient, you're gonna get the base notes of Louis Vuitton City of Stars. You're gonna get musk and sandalwood right here. Great endings to the gradient. If you like musk, you like the sensuality of that musk, you are gonna get it. It's gonna go from that warming Tiare Accord into the musk, and it bridges into a beautiful sandalwood note. If you're gonna get your sandalwood fix, you got it right here. You are gonna get that sandalwood fix with this fragrance right here. It's a nice, simple, but effective ending to the gradient provided by City of Stars. I would say that this fragrance is scenario based. And I also think that it's ageless. Like, you can actually wear this whether you're 18 to 80, okay? Because it's not about the age. It doesn't smell too youthful and it doesn't smell too mature. I just think that this fragrance is concentrated on the scenario of that from dusk till dawn scenario here in LA. I think it's focused on that. And so no matter what age you're at, no matter what sex, you're man or woman or in between, if you're into that sort of scene, if for you the day begins when the sun goes down and you've got a lot of things to do, a lot of social things to do, I think that City of Stars is a perfect perfume, guys. And I definitely suggest that you try this fragrance at some point. I'm sure Louis Vuitton will have a ton of samples that they give away at the boutiques, or you can just go to the boutique and try them out, guys. Okay, so that is my review on Louis Vuitton City of Stars. If you've tried this, so let me know what you think, guys. I would love to know if you feel like it's a women's fragrance really, or is it a men's fragrance? Do you feel like it's unisex? Let me know on the comments below. Again, thank you to Mr. Justin Williams, who actually sent me a load of samples to try to test, and these are all like samples that I really wanted to review and talk about. So thank you again, Justin, and thank you to you guys for being around, for liking, subscribing, watching the ads. We had some guys like donate actually to the channel, and you can do that during our live programs. You can just like go on the $ and donate whatever you want. But let me tell you this, whatever you guys donate, if you choose to, it will go to all these samples, all these fragrances that I am procuring at a really alarming rate. I'm going full speed ahead on getting all these fragrances for you guys. Okay, so until then, this is Troy D. Have a great weekend. God bless. Take care. Have a great day. Peace.